I'm recording the start of the video last now that I've got everything set up, and I just can't get over how gorgeous it is. I hope you'll love this as much as I do. I am so excited about opening this up and showing you what it's like. I recently acquired the Cheers board game, and me being a big Cheers fan, I was very excited to play this. This is actually a trivia-based game, and the board itself is amazing, and I absolutely love it. So I thought I'd open it up and show you what it's like. So in a second I'll set the board up properly, but this is what the board looks like. It is, well, it's Cheers, and I absolutely adore it. So we have the entrance here, and the bar, got Sam's office, Melville's up there, and I'll explain what these various pieces mean once I get it all set up. And our places for Cliffisms and Normisms, which are the things that help you win your wooden nickels. So there is a set of instructions. They're not overly long, they're not overly complicated. It took me about 5 minutes to familiarise myself with everything and to work out what everything meant, but I'll just go through it very briefly. So this is the game setup. We have the various characters in play. There are a different coloured piece. There's a different coloured piece to represent each character. So we have Carla, Fraser and Lilith, Woody, Cliff and Norm. We have Rebecca in purple and Sam in blue. And you spin to see who goes first, and then you spin to make your first move. So move 6. Let's say I'm Carla. You can move in any direction, diagonally, horizontally, or vertically. And the point is you have to try and get to a Cliff or a Norm. Can I see a Norm? There, we have a Norm. And you're supposed to get one of each colour. So we have a blue Cliff here. If you landed on that, you'd have to do a Cliffism, which I'll show in a moment. And if you get the Cliffism correct, you would get the... It's green. If you got it correct, you'd have to get the green wooden nickel. And the aim of the game is to get one wooden nickel in each colour. We have, for there, we've got a kind of purple and a blue, and up there we have a green and a red. But you're not going to be able to land on a Cliffism or a Normism on every turn, because they are, as you can see, quite far apart. So when you just land on a blank square, you have to answer one of these beauties. These are Cheers napkins. I've got a little stack here. There's a whole stack of them all the way back there. And each card contains several Cheers trivia questions. So why did Woody come into Cheers in the first place? And there are 3 options there, and the answers are down at the bottom. And you ask the colour question depending on what colour the person landed on. So here I landed on red. I would be asked the red question. And if I answered correctly, if I said C, he was looking for coach, I'd get to move again. And obviously the aim is to get to a Cliffism, but there are various other things along the way that can help. There's this one called Carla's Dares, and if you land on that, you're allowed to dare another player to do something. To be honest, I kind of disregard that aspect of it. That could be good fun if you're playing with a whole group of people, but personally, that side of it doesn't interest me. There are also these where it says go to men's room, go to exit, and then you can jump to those places there. For example, we have go to couch, then you can automatically jump to couch. They're obviously quite helpful. For example, if I was all the way over here and I knew that I needed to get a purple nickel, I could try and go to couch to then get closer to a Cliffism or a Normism. So, what are the Cliffisms and Normisms? Honestly, I find the Cliffisms easier to answer, but the Normisms are more fun. So, the Cliffisms, we have a statement that Cliff did or did not say. So this one, it's a little known fact that the first frost will come 6 weeks after you hear the last cricket. And then you have to answer, yes, Cliff did say that, and no, Cliff didn't say that. So in this case, if I said no, he didn't, I would have answered correctly, and I'd get the wooden nickel in that colour. Definitely easier to get one of those because you've got a 50-50 chance, either yes or no. Normisms are a little bit trickier. This one, Women, you can't live with them, pass the blank. And you have to try and fill in the blank. Some of them are maybe quite obvious. This one, maybe not so much. Obviously, this potentially relies on having seen Cheers a lot, but occasionally some of them are kind of self-explanatory, or you can kind of fill in the blank based on logic. And the game ends when one player has all 4 of the wooden nickels. So in theory, it could go on for a very, very long time, depending on how good people are at Cliffisms or Normisms, and of course, depending on how easily you're able to get to things. I just love the design of this board. I just think there's so much brilliant attention to detail. Really, really very impressive. I mean, it's quite basic at the end of the day. It's just a board, but I rather enjoy it. I thought it was a beautiful touch, and if you're a Cheers fan, I think it's quite nice to just imagine yourself walking all around the bar, and having, of course, Norm in his specific spot is just something we have. Norm underneath there. I have to say, it's rather delightful. So if you are a Cheers fan, it's absolutely worth getting hold of. It's also just good fun to just randomly go through the trivia questions. My memory is appalling, so I'm not actually very good at the questions, but I do enjoy being recapped and having my memory refreshed on those. And there are many, many, many of them. So if you're a Cheers fan, you're probably going to cover the entire show in those questions. I hope you've enjoyed this brief overview. I just wanted to show what it was like in case you were thinking about buying the board game as well. It's a lot of fun, and it's truly a beautiful design. And I have to say, I really, really rather love it.